This is WOMLP operating out Billington from 105.9 The Radiator. It's The Rocket Shop. I'm your host, Tom Proctor, and with me tonight is Obi the Voicegod. Hello.
Boom, boom, boom. How you doing?
I'm good. Good to have you back in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Although we're arguing about how long ago that was.
You say 4 years, I say 2 years.
Yeah, we'll figure it out at some point, but it's really good to have you back.
Thank you.
We like kicking it off with a song. So what have you got for us?
The first song I'll be doing today is called Lickle Love.
All right, take it away.
Make I tell you now, make I tell you right now. I seen some final days, I know if you see them right now. And I wish that I know what the problem is, but right now I know a little love is all I need. Far white searching for love where everybody's complicated. I see say every love they like a different conversation. I swear I've been through it and I stayed through it. I heard myself through it. I see when it rains, I see when it rains it pours. Ain't nothing the same, my heart know they like before. Them my mother, my affection, them do 'em like so. I can get passive aggression for no one me to fall. But do you got me, say way that I got me. You go hold me down, letting go slowly. When I'm feeling lonely, your company only. If you got it, I bet make you show me. Little love, you give me some of your little love. My little love, my little love, my little love. My little love getting bigger than a little love. For my little love, for my little love, my little love. I like being in a little love. I might be for a little love. Time flies when I'm with my little love. My little love, my little love, my little love. Oh. Want me to for me little love. You know I could burn trees, they don't see us in the fog. I adventure to the heart like Thor. Your heart never be like this before. Me no care, me no send me feeling your flaws. I go through like family for you, me give you applause. Space walk in my mind go Mars. Remain small, we go burn love. It's a little different why I like you. It's a little strange why you like me back. It's a little different why you tying me down. I wouldn't believe, but I like this now, yeah. Little love, you give me some of your little love. My little love, my little love, my little love. My little love getting bigger than a little love. For my little love, for my little love, my little love. I like being in a little love. Time flies when I'm with my little love. When I'm with my little love, my little love, my little love, my little love. When I'm by you, you know I'm good. You know if you deny, this thing feel good. Oh, is it right? Is this little love good? We know if it's a lie, this thing better than good. Yeah. Little love, everybody. Thank you very much.
Obi the Voicegod there with Lickle Love. So that one was a single release in 2023, but not on the new album which just came out.
Not on the new album.
Not on the new album. So what's going on there? You've obviously got this new album that came out in 2023. I don't know what month it came out, but congratulations for getting that out.
Came out this month on the 7th.
This month?
Yeah.
So this is brand new.
Brand new, yeah.
Wow. So Lickle Love was that kind of a teaser coming into the album. How have you decided what singles to release, I guess?
So first of all, I was very conflicted on what sound to go for the project. African born American made. A lot of people assuming it's gonna be Afro beats but you know it's mainly hip hop. But I like to experiment with the sounds that I grew up listening to. So before I went into the project, I actually worked on the song out of the blue in the middle of working on the project, and I decided to put it out, give my listeners something new. Yeah, everybody expects hip hop and rap from me, but I like to give them like different type of genres and stuff.
Yeah. I see. So because it didn't quite fit the sound of the new album, you're like, this is going to be like a separate thing we put out.
Correct.
Does that mean that we potentially might have an Afrobeats album at some point in the future, or are you going to kind of stick with hip hop? What's going on there?
Most definitely, I am going to experiment a lot more with Afro beats in the coming time. It's just kind of hard because most of my fan base already listen to hip hop, rap. They expect that from me, but I'm not gonna let them put me in a box. So most definitely, I want to put out more songs like that.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit of the story behind this album. So this is your third in 4 years, incredibly prolific.
Thank you.
Is it just a case of you got so many songs that you just have to you keep on creating these albums, or was this a specific project? Was it like I need to get this out for a particular reason?
It was a very specific project. I started working on this album in my last year in college, and at that point in music, I was feeling very unmotivated. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I was in the middle of finding myself. And African Born American Made was kind of like coming from a destination and going to another one. So right there in the middle, a lot of people tend to lose themselves. I admit to like losing myself a little bit. You know, like am I Nigerian? Am I American? Like what? You know. So I started working on this project as a means of finding myself. So it's more of a get to know me project. So it's more personal than my other projects.
All right, so kind of get to know yourself kind of project.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that conflict. So as you said, you were born in Nigeria, brought up to America. Obviously, being in America has probably had a very large cultural impact on you. But then, obviously, your family is still probably very, very Nigerian, very culturally Nigerian.
Especially my mom too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that kind of conflict and how you've kind of created your own identity from these two different cultures.
My first conflict was the language barrier, I would say. We speak English back home, but I had a very heavy African accent, so it was so hard to communicate with people, especially going to college and having to answer questions in front of the class. So, overcoming that was honestly it was music that helped me out. I would express myself through music, and along the lines, a lot of my friends they would hear me talk different, and then we're like, "Oh, is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah, that is me. That is me in the music." So that kind of helped me in that journey. And I would say like the friends I met in Vermont, because when I first came to Vermont, I was like, I don't like this place. Like it's too cold. There's that, the third. There's nothing to do. But when you get to meet people and you make connections with these people, they become your family. They become your friends. It just makes it easier for me. So yeah.
Do you find yourself kind of slipping back into the Nigerian accent when you're around your family? Is that something that you've had to kind of process when you go for dinner or something, and then you go and see your friends afterwards, and like, wait a second, we cannot understand a word you're saying anymore? I know that happens to me just with my English accent, to be honest. So I was really kind of curious.
It's an instant switch for my family and my friends back home. Even on FaceTime, like my friends over here, like I talk to them, and then I hop on the phone and it's like, my brother, how you doing? I haven't talked to you all day. How you doing? How you doing? What are we eating today? So like, it's a natural switch up for me, because I connect. I would say like I have almost two identities that I identify with. So my African side and my American side. So it's just so easy to connect with my people, and then to connect with those who I got to know over here and got to make connection with over here. So, yeah.
Is most of your family still in Nigeria? Have you got some family in America? Do you go back to Nigeria very often?
No, I haven't been back to Nigeria in 6, 7 years now.
Oh, wow.
They're all over the place. I have family in Delaware, Maryland area. I have family in Canada. I have family in Dubai, and I have some family back home in Nigeria.
Wow, there's a whole dysphoria there of kind of various family members.
Yeah.
So this is obviously a very personal album for you. Did you find releasing that to be more difficult or more exciting, because you are obviously talking about things that are a lot more personal to you than your previous two albums? Was that something that was daunting, or something that you thought about while you were making it?
It was I would say, like I said before, like I was in the middle of finding myself, so I was scared going into this project. I was scared, like, am I gonna come up with any good songs? Am I gonna finish it? Just like a bunch of overthinking going on. But I guess along the way, I just kind of realized that I've been doing this for a long time, so I shouldn't treat it as any different. What I did decide to do was settle down and take my time with it. I had to change my process up a little bit more in order to feel comfortable going into this project. So, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that process. How has it been previously, and what differences did you see in this particular project?
So previously, I would get my beats off of YouTube, or I would get a random email for some dude at like 2 a.m. asking to like buy his beats, and I would listen to it. If it's good, I'll buy it. But for this project, I had my producer make all the beats in-house. So I would get inspired by a little melody that I heard, recorded on my phone, send it to him, and he would duplicate that, replicate it, kind of like bring my idea to life. I made some melodies on the project myself, actually. I'm not I don't play the piano the best, but I'm pretty sure if I sat down for 30 minutes to 1 hour, I could come up with something good. So just like the little things that I didn't do before, I try to incorporate that into the project.
Was it because it was this much more personal project you wanted to have a bit more control over it? You wanted it to be a bit more you? Was that the reason why you kind of went this extra mile?
No, not really. I think I was just trying to try something different to see if I can spark something different to make different music.
Is that something that you might be doing going forward, or are you going to kind of revert back to the old process of kind of going around YouTube or getting beats from folks, wherever else on the internet, or are you going to kind of stick with this process that you found in this third album?
I think I enjoy this process a lot more because it's just I don't want to be that artist that just gets a beat and just raps on it or sings on it and then the song comes out. Like being more involved in the creative process helps to make the song your own song rather than your song,
right?
Type of thing. So yeah, I think moving forward, this is a process I would like to be a part of more.
I mean, for this Afrobeats album, this future Afrobeats album coming up, is because that's more of a part of your culture. Is that something that you feel like you could start making your own beats for that kind of thing because you're kind of more familiar with that music in a way? I don't know if you are more familiar. I mean, you've been doing hip hop for a long time now. Would you feel that Afrobeats is more yourself, and you'd feel a bit, I don't know, feel like you want to make those beats yourself?
First of all, I don't think I could sit down and make an Afrobeat myself because I've just been working on hip hop for too long. I do identify myself with Afrobeats. Like I listen to it all day. The first song I play in the car, the last song I play in the car. Conversation-wise, the topics, the things that are being spoken about in the music I relate to it 100%. But as far as being involved in the creative process of that, I don't think I would want to, be a part of that. I would leave that to the professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to hear another song. So, what have you got for us?
Since we be talking about the project, I guess I'll give you guys a song on the project called Mood Swings.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. African born, American made, I don't like no drama. I want to adore you on the way, caught you like a tonic. Caught you off Moana, don't ring my phone. I remember when I used to laugh and cry, smiles and sighs, struggles every night, yeah. I remember when I used to tell many lies, you can see it through my eye. I don't want no more relations, mommy. Looking for the star, yeah, they looking for me. Feeling safe about the bar, they hanging upon me. Midnight, early morning, never yawning. Sometimes I feel like I ain't really breathing. Really feel like I be losing to my own demons. Hustle hard steadily, trying to get achievements. On my bars heavily, even on the weekend, yeah. I know I gotta get it right. Have to let go, I ripped the Velcro from my side. I got the memo, don't everybody love you in this life, yeah. Cut them off like knives, yeah, I'm independent all night. Enter place like Godzilla, OG wise nigga. Bad like Michael Jackson Thriller, going ape like Gorilla. Bad little vibe like bodybuilder, still I give a caterpillar. I'm more like 9 millers, got eyes on 7 figures. But ooh, baby, lately feeling lazy. Maybe, just maybe, do your thing, go crazy, ooh, baby, don't ring me, don't invite me, don't cross that silver lining, move swinging fast like lightning. I remember when I used to laugh and cry, smiles and sighs, struggles every night, yeah. I remember when I used to tell many lies, you can see it through my eye. I don't want no more relations, mommy. Looking for the star, yeah, they looking for me. Feeling safe about the bar, they hanging upon me. Midnight, early morning, never yawning. Mood swings, I hit it when my mood swing. I don't really think that you know me when my mood swing. Loose thing, shoestring, how my mood swing. I got mood swings When my moves swing, I don't get a whole lot of relief. I got problems weighing me down heavily. I remember everybody who was doubting on me. I remember all the times y'all didn't remember me. Thank you.
All right, Obi the Voicegod there with Mood Swings. Now, you mentioned that this album was created as you were coming to the end of your college career. Congratulations, by the way, if you did graduate.
Thank you, I did.
Which I'm assuming you did. Um, did you feel like the kind of stress of the last year of university kind of started playing into some of the songs there as well? I mean, obviously, a song about mood swings kind of suggests that might be the case, but was that something that was like competing for your time? Was the fact that you were also trying to finish?
My last semester in college was pretty much straightforward. I knocked out all my difficult classes, my 400 level classes earlier on in my college career. So my last semester wasn't that bad. So I wouldn't say I was competing and fighting for time and energy with finishing school and working on the project. But for your question about mood swings, I would say I've always had mood swings, and I feel like a lot of people do. So I had to talk about it. Like a lot of people don't understand my mood swing. A lot of my friends don't understand my mood swings. We could be out at a bar, in the club, and I just get in the mood and walk away to the other side. So what I did on this song, if you noticed, I had different sections of the beat that were different to signify the mood swing. So some parts was more singier or more sing rap, and some parts were just straight rap to signify my mood switching from maybe a good mood to a bad mood or excited to less excited.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you find, I mean, obviously that's quite an introspective look at yourself to obviously have the knowledge that you've got these kind of tendency to have these kind of mood swings. Does writing about it help with that? Do you feel like you are less likely to have mood swings, or at least more easily manageable once you kind of start writing about it and start thinking about it a lot more?
I don't know if it's really helped, if the song Mood Swings actually helped my mood swings, but I know it's helped me become more comfortable who I am as a person. I don't tend to hide it from my friends anymore, or from my family, those who I love. But writing about it has made it more comfortable for me to acknowledge that I do have these mood swings, and it's okay. And as long as I communicate that to my friends and my family, and they're accepting about it, then
yeah,
all is well.
There's some other very introspective things from the album as well. I mean, the other single that you've got coming out from it, Do's and Don'ts, talks very much about growing up, kind of what it's like to be in a Nigerian household, and stereotype is it's fairly strict, is what I've heard in certain places. And so that's obviously quite introspective as well. Is it each track in this album, does it kind of focus on a different element about yourself?
Yes, it does.
In that kind of way.
Yeah. So I have songs called ADHD on the project. I have ADHD, Mood Swings, Do's and Don'ts. Sweet Tea, Bad Coffee. That's a track that, it's kind of me trying to like stop being too nice to people because not everybody is gonna match your energy the same way. So yeah, every song on the project is had to do with the upbringing in the Nigerian household and how that affected me in America today. So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the ADHD one definitely sticks out because also have that kind of I've also got ADHD, which often means you get a lot of projects are unfinished, which doesn't seem to be the issue for you. I mean, with 3 albums out in 4 years, do you feel like you're going to continue making music at this kind of clip? Are you going to do another 3 albums in 4 years going forward? Are you going to take a break now you finish college? You might obviously have other things going on.
So I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and I'm not sure if I can keep up the same rate. I do want to. I would love to. But life happens. You finish college, you get a job, you have bills, things start to pop up. So, and I've noticed like it's good to spread your energy around. Like a lot of times I just gas myself out with music and do music 100%. Then I go back to the real world and it's like, oh, I have this problem and this problem and this problem. So moving forward, I would love to slow down a little bit and handle life. But at this point, I've invested way too much in music. I don't even think I can't quit. That's one. I can't slow down more than 70%, but I do got to take a step back off the gas.
When I think we last spoke a few years back, 2 years back, I feel like all your roommates are also creating a lot of music. You surrounded yourself with a lot of friends that create a lot of music. Is that still the case? Are you kind of egging each other on, or has it become more of a solitary solo effort? Although with the amount of collaborators I see on this album, I'm guessing it's probably the former rather than the latter.
Yeah, it's still the same case. I primarily work with like a lot of Burlington artists. I live down in Castleton, so it's mostly over the phone or over emails. But I try to surround myself with as much people who make music as possible. Like my friend over there, he plays the piano, the guitar. He's a great singer, so we just link at the studio and we just take about 2-3 hours to come up with one idea, type of thing. But I would say it's been less music individuals, but like more like people who actually or more on the business side of things these days. Yeah.
Okay. So has that changed things as well? Because obviously last time you came in, I think you were still in Burlington at that point. Obviously you moved down to Caston. It's a lot more rural, a lot more remote. How has that changed the way that you kind of approach your music?
Honestly, it's better. I get less distractions. There's nothing to do over there. So you just gotta stay at home, go to work, feed yourself, take care of your body, and just work in the music. So less distractions, I would say.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, as you said, when you first moved to Vermont, you didn't feel like there's lots to do. You know, winters are really cold. Does the kind of it's weird because obviously you think of hip hop and you do think of clubs and bars and going out, and I mean obviously that's a massive oversimplification, but the absolute opposite of that is Castleton. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you kind of thrive in the fact that you've got this kind of space of solitude? And do you ever find it kind of at odds with the kind of what you're singing about, or do you incorporate that into what you're singing about? Do you ever sing about Castleton in your music?
I've never sang about Castleton in my music, I'll tell you that. But I would like to call myself an introvert and an extrovert at the same time. Like I enjoy going out and being around people. That gets my energy up. But there's nothing like being in my solitude by myself in my room, locked down in the basement, just making music. So that's been more beneficial to me, like staying by myself, because I could get an idea at like 12 a.m. in the morning, or at like 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and I have to hop on it and put it down. If not, it's gonna leave me. So being an introvert and being by myself lets me do that. Whereas if I'm always with people all the time, I can't really work on my stuff.
Right, and obviously that might be where starting to do like another your career or something, like a full-time job career, the ones that pay the bills, not the fun ones.
Correct.
That might also then impact the kind of music making, because you might not have the opportunity to kind of switch off immediately and go to the computer and get something down. Hopefully you'll get a remote job, and then you won't have to have that worry. You could just...
I didn't have one, but I wasn't loving it, so
yeah.
I had to let it go.
They're a mixed bag. Well, we'll love another song, so what have you got?
So next up, I'll be performing ADHD for you guys. Thank you. I gotta say, I'm feeling good, part of commercial. It be dripping just like a shoelace. I'm kinda tired, just trying to get higher. I don't mind if I'm a little late. I hope you don't mind, I got ADHD. My guy, walk on, how far how you be? Why you say we loud? We enter the streets, I'm focusing in. I scoping like beam, intelligent on the Zaza. I pay the things, no matter. Still sheep voice from drama. I want the beats from my obligata. Bigger the dreams from mama, bigger the commas, bigger the things, Lord. Bigger the commas, the bigger the taxes, bigger the fiends. I think how we born money referee. I'm sad for doing this thing, you really on the way to the limelight, guaranteed. Skipping them long lines with a G. Still I feel like my mind be on weave. Too much about my mind on me. Got too much mental company. Gotta chill before I get ugly. I'm in a different headspace, I'm focused. Let me see, I'ma do it just like Moses. I can't believe all the times I couldn't breathe. How to breathe, no they never showed us. They did things in the end they never told us. So I had to leave, I had to breathe. They don't like when I'm low-key, they They really don't like my high seas. Whatever I do, they despise me. I do what I do with a smiley. I got time, but I put it behind me. Got good energy beside me. Like I rock a diamond so shiny. But sometimes I need time to me. I feel like my mom be a mansion. Ain't got a way out this mansion. I'm in the attic of mansions. Feel like I'm stuck, I feel anxious. I look to the left, I see phantom. I was right, I don't need distraction. I'm tired of running, no dashing. Facing my demons with passion. You don't want beef, you in the end. You gon' end up like many men. Who are you? Who are you for? Friend, he gone, I think he a ghost. I can't even sleep, my mind do the most. All the times I got highs and lows, I'm going through things. I'm in a different headspace, I'm focused. Let me see, I'ma do it just like Moses. I can't even believe all the times I couldn't breathe. How to breathe. No, they never showed us. They did things in the end they never told us. So I had to leave. Yeah, I had to breathe. HD, ADHD, HD, ADHD, ADHD in me. Yeah, ADHD, ADHD in HD, ADHD in HD, ADHD in me. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I swear I got IQ. So I kill, I found my demons. Oh, white, now I'm right, you. Homicide, they don't charge me with treason. Understand I'm higher than you. Come back, you know my season. Early morning, just like you, I'm coming through like small rain, bring heavy breeze. I got issues, I can't even sleep. I got problems you can't even teach. You got me, well, I got me. All day I found me. Can't even leave, I'm stuck with me. Definitely, I'm tired of me, but better believe I got different headspace. I'm focused. Let me see, I'ma do it just like Moses. I can't even believe all the times I couldn't breathe. How to breathe. No, they never showed us. They did things in the end they never told us. So I had to leave. I had to breathe. Had to breathe on that one though. I was learning how to Thank you.
ADHD there by Obi the Voicegod. Another song from his new album, African Born, American Made. Yeah, and another kind of introspective one as we talked about. So the other single from this, as we talk about, is Do's and Don'ts. You mentioned that single is more of a memory than a song. So tell us a little bit more about that sentiment.
So Do's and Don'ts came out as a very random idea. I believe you guys know Ravon C. He's a brilliant artist too as well. I was on the phone with him. He's asking me how my project is going. And I'm like, I have this beat. It's a really cool beat. It's kind of weird in the middle. I don't know what to do about it. And he said, think about things that you've gone through in the past experiences. And the first thing that came to my mind was growing up in a Nigerian household, how strict everybody was. So along the lines of the project, along the lines of making the single, I realized that, okay, like I have a lot of experiences as an individual. Like everybody has experiences. So I just dragged out experiences that I felt a lot of people could relate to. And that's pretty much how the song was made, yeah.
Yeah. And so when you say it's more of a memory, then you basically didn't really have to write the lyrics at all. Well, you did obviously have to write the lyrics, but you just kind of put yourself back in that headspace when you were a kid.
Correct. I didn't go as far back as to it when I was a kid, just for specific reasons. But I did look at some old videos from my freshman year in college, called some old friends. I just dove back into the realms of the past a little bit for myself, and then it just flowed out really easily for me.
Did you talk to your family a lot while making this entire album? Maybe not just a single, but like, did you talk about the individual tracks that you were going to be writing about, like say like mood swings and ADHD and do's and don'ts? Did you bring that up, and did they help out at all, or did they have any thoughts about this?
Actually, my family are kind of rebellious.
Yeah.
They think I'm kind of rebellious with like doing music, so I don't really talk to them much about music. But my mom and one of my sisters, though, I did reach out to them when I was feeling like, oh, like I'm tired of this, like I need a break, and just little words of motivation. They just kind of helped me get through it. But I wasn't really in communication with my family about the project.
Yeah. And how about how about your friends? So you say you're rebellious in terms of your family.
Mm-hmm.
Do you often talk to your non-musical friends about this kind of this project? And does anyone kind of like chip in, especially people that knew you when you were younger? Did they ever like, oh, if you're going to be writing about this, you should probably mention this in the song as well? Does that ever happen?
That has happened in the past, but not on this project. I
Yeah.
think I kind of just put myself in a box and just kind of focused on working on the project. I didn't really. I mean, I would talk to people about like, hey, I have this cool song I'm working on. Would you like to listen to it? But I wouldn't really play for them, expecting feedback. It's just listen, and then I go back in the stool. Type
I
of thing.
see.
Yeah.
So this album came out, as you said, what, 2 weeks ago now?
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks
So
ago.
again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Always big. Does this one feel different in terms of the way you're promoting it, or the kind of reaction you've had so far?
The reactions, definitely. I've had like a lot of people tell me that they haven't heard me talk about so many vulnerable things that I mentioned on the project, which is kind of good. I struggle with my vulnerability. Yeah, a lot.
It happens.
Way more than I should. But so I have gotten feedbacks in terms of what I spoke about on the album. But in terms of promotion, like you said, this is the first time I'm actually putting money into promoting my music on like social media and playlist campaigns. I just feel like I need something different to make something different happen. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure. And then, do you do many live shows? I know, as you said, you lived in Castleton now. Obviously, coming up to Burlington is a fair distance. And then it's not like Vermont has a huge hip hop scene. So are you thinking about doing live shows elsewhere? Are you doing any live shows in Vermont itself?
I've been doing a lot of my live shows in Burlington, right here in Burlington. My last show was actually at the Flynn for the Black History Month.
Oh,
Juneteenth.
nice.
Yeah, me and my man's Ravon, we hopped on stage for a couple songs together. It was nice. A couple songs I did back home in Castleton, and I rarely get sets out of state. I've gotten like 1 or 2 here in New York, New Hampshire, but that's about it.
How is the Flynn? That must have been a really interesting experience. I'm assuming it's the first time you played there, or maybe not. Maybe you're a regular.
It was my first time there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's an interesting space for anything, really. I mean, it's this really old building.
Oh, really?
A ton of history. So how did that feel? Was it a sold out audience? It sounds like it was part of a bigger project so you managed to get up on stage for. So was it daunting playing to that many people?
It wasn't a sold out audience, but it was a fair amount of people over there. It was just different performing in a crowd. Like in the studio right here, it's like everybody got to be seated down. I get it, but
Yeah.
seeing that many people seated down is like, oh, sheesh. But
Right. Yeah.
it wasn't that daunting. The first song I kind of had some nerves on there, but after that, seeing the whole crowd just cheer me on, song after song. It just kept getting my energy up and up and up, so it wasn't that bad.
That's great.
Yeah.
And where have you been playing in Burlington other than the Flynn?
I've played at Archwire before. I've played at Higher Ground before. Once at Higher Ground. I started out at Swan Dojo.
Yeah.
It's like this little performance space.
Real hot in the summer.
Real hot. And we're not even going to talk about the basement shows because the basement shows get crazy and they get hot and they get chaotic at some
Right.
point. But it's always fun. It's always good vibes.
Have you got any of them planned up for the rest of the summer?
I do not have any shows planned out for right now. I've been taking a break
Yeah.
from like performing for just to focus on like the project and all
Right.
the life stuff that's been going on.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to see you at some point up in Burlington again. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, well, this is about all we've got time for this evening. We would love to hear one last song. So what have you got for us?
For this last song, it's actually unreleased. And I love to come with some unreleased music for you guys. I would like to call my man's Perry the Dad to the stage. The song is called Lady Lady, and I hope you guys like it.
I feel I've been teasing this all night because there's 2 microphones in front of us. And I'm like, there's got to be a reason why that second microphone is there. So,
Gotta be a reason.
sorry, Perry?
Yeah, Perry.
Perry I missed the second part.
Perry the Dad.
Perry the Dad. All right.
Daddy.
Do a quick mic check for me, Perry.
All right.
Good?
Good? All right.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm ready. All right.
Man, have to respect man.
Little lady, come my way.
Come my way.
I got something to say.
Since yesterday.
You're so fine on both sides. You're on mine.
And I want you, baby.
My little lady, my little lady.
I want you, baby.
My little lady, my lady, my lady. My little lady, my little lady.
I want you, baby.
You're so fine on both sides.
My lady, I know your love toxic, but I want you, baby. All my friends, they call me crazy, yeah? But yeah, I see the booty like damn. Now you got me crazy. Baby, baby, take your time to make your mind up. I hate to see you with another guy. He won't treat you like I. So won't you come my way, let's have fun again. I don't got your time, we could be just friends. Come my way, let's have fun again. I don't got your time, we could be just friends.
Little lady, come my way.
Come my way,
I got something to say.
since yesterday.
You're so fine on both sides. You're on mine, you're on mine.
And I want you, baby.
My little lady, my little lady,
I want you, baby.
my little lady, my lady,
My lady.
my little lady, my little lady.
I want you, baby.
You're so fine on both sides.
My lady.
Okay now, yeah, I've been searching for a long time, yeah. A long time since I found what I could call mine. It's crazy, ain't got a lady, ain't got a woman. I've been a patient, I'm done with the waiting. I need a woman, so I say, hey, yo, who that pretty lady, oh yeah. You too fine, she be your crime because I'm violent, so. Oh, lady, have you heard of the song? My little lady, my little lady. These 2 times you got me turning me eyes on you. You walk nice and you smile, they give me brighter views. I know your mama love you, she really proud of you. Nobody bother you when I'm all about you. Little lady, come my way.
Come my way,
I got something to say.
since yesterday.
You're so fine on both sides. You're on mine, you're on mine.
And I want you, baby.
My little lady, my little lady,
I want you, baby.
my little lady, my lady,
My lady.
my little lady, my little lady.
I want you, baby.
You're so fine on both sides.
My lady.
Little lady, come my way.
Come my way,
I got something to say.
since yesterday.
You're so fine on both sides. You're on mine, you're on mine.
And I want you, baby.
Thank you.
All right. Pair of the Dad coming on with Obi, the voice god. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Obi, best of luck. That does sound like some more Afrobeats.
Yeah,
So,
it
yeah.
does.
Teasing up the 4th album here, I feel.
Yeah, I am.
But-
Kinda. Not really sure yet though.
But really appreciate you coming in again. Be sure to come back in when the next album drops.
I will. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Next week, we're going to have David Carl Roberts in the studio, so check us out for that one. But for tonight, this has been WOMM LP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator. It's been The Rocket Shop. I've been your host, Tom Proxer, and good night.